You wicked spirit of hell! In the name of Jesus Christ, come out of her! Clarita, I'll not leave you. Jesus will not leave you. You will be delivered. You'll be delivered now.
In 1953, there was a girl who allegedly possessed by evil spirits. The name of this young girl is Clarita Villanueva. Clarita was living a poor life with her mother. Her mother is a spiritist and always have a communication to the dead people. Clarita realized the phenomenon early on, and because of her mother was a spiritist, her life was really horrible because of her mother's communication with the dead. When her mother died, she was very saddened. To provide her needs, she applied work as a maid in Manila. But after she worked as a maid, she worked as a prostitute. While working as a prostitute, she saw a man sitting around the area. But this man identified himself as a policeman and arrested her. Clarita was imprisoned in Manila Bilibid Prison, now known as New Bilibid Prison. Since Clarita was imprisoned, it is said that this where the shocking incident with the girl began. According to Clarita, she is disturbed every night by two creatures. These creatures are not humans, but demons. The one is big, and the other one is small. Many times they hurt Clarita. Some nights, the young girl suddenly screamed because the demons were allegedly hurting her. Until every night, Clarita was continued to be screamed. The police took pity on the victim, so the police took her to the doctor to be treated for her wounds because of what she had received from the person who hurt her. According to estimates, they say that this Manila Bilibid prison is over 100 years old, and during the Japanese conquest, it was made a torture place, and it can be said that this place is really terrifying. After the police took Clarita to the doctor, she was returned to Manila Bilibid Prison. The girl's condition is said to be fine, but just a few days ago, she suddenly screamed again and seems out of her mind. It is possible that the demons are torturing her again. As a result, none of the police were able to approach Clarita's jail. According to the news at that time, Clarita was said to have the power that when she said that someone is going to die, it was mysteriously dying as if it were a curse. Some of her victims were the doctor who examined her and a jail guard in Manila Bilibid Prison. Both allegedly died when Clarita cursed them to die. The people in Manila Bilibid Prison can no longer stop what is happening to Clarita. Even if she is tied with strong ropes or chains, it is not enough to stop Clarita because she is said to be very strong. Clarita allegedly screamed every night until the police could no longer stop what was happening to her. Clarita's news spread throughout the Philippines. The media at that time entered to Manila Bilibid Prison and went to Clarita's jail to record the horrifying thing that was happening to the young girl. A few days passed as the news spread around the world. An American pastor heard the news while listening to the radio. The pastor's name is Lester Samuel. The news of those times was only transmitted on radios because there was not much use of television in those days.
Brought to his honor Mayor Laxon, and he replied that the devil is not under the jurisdiction of the city hall. It's a matter for the clergy. However, even the prison chaplain seems at odds with the appearance of these devils and can offer no explanation for the phenomena. Dr. Reyes, chief physician, promises to call qualified experts to study this strange thing that torments poor Clarita Villanueva. Now on the other news, the Senate convened today in one of the longest sessions.
According to the pastor, he said that he had not slept since he heard the news about Clarita. That night, he prayed, and God told him that he was sending him to help the girl. He is said to be the only one chosen by God to destroy the demons that merged with Clarita. The next day, he prayed again, and he really felt that the Lord was sending him to help the poor girl. He was hesitant at first, but he also decided to go to the Philippines to help Clarita. When the pastor decided to go to the Philippines, he packed up and traveled to Manila. When the pastor arrived in the Philippines, he appealed to former Manila City Mayor Ansenio Lacson, who was the current sitting as mayor of Manila at that time. When they talked to the mayor, the pastor asked if he could allow him to enter to the Manila Bilibid prison to help the young girl who possessed by evil spirits. Their conversation lasted a long time, and the mayor did not refuse the pastor's request to give him the authority to enter to the Manila Bilibid prison. When the pastor entered the Manila Bilibid prison, he immediately went to the whereabouts of the poor girl. In that time, the place was still quiet and the young girl seemed to look good. But just a few minutes later, the young girl suddenly went crazy and screamed. The pastor wasted no time and immediately performed the exorcism. Many were scared at that time because Clarita was very loud and very noisy. Just a few minutes later, the woman suddenly calmed down. Clarita's illness improved. The people thought she was safe. But the next evening, Clarita suddenly screamed again and seems like she was no longer on her own. Pastor Lester somehow performed the exorcism again. In that time, it was not easy for them unknowingly to cast out the demons possessed by the maiden. The exorcism lasted for over an hour. At the same time, Clarita's condition calmed down. The people in the Manila Bilibid prison were happy because of what happened, and they are really grateful to the pastor who helped the girl. According to the news, after the exorcism of Clarita, her condition was improved. And since then, she has not been bothered by the demons that have possessed and tormented her. According to the pastor's last conversation with Clarita, she said that she was happy in her life. She also formed her own family and even married a farmer. The pastor was also happy for Clarita. But the story about the demons really true? Did any demons really merge and torment Clarita? What is the truth about it? Let's find out. According to the story of Clarita Villanueva, it is said that she was tortured by demons. But there were those who relented and did not believe that she was possessed by demons. Many say that it may have been scientific. Some psychologists say that Clarita may not have been possessed by demons. They say that the reason for her lack of herself and constant shouting is what happened in her life. Clarita's thinking may have been affected because of her bad experiences as a person. First was the death of her mother that caused her great grief and anxiety. Secondly, it was also because of her working as a prostitute. And thirdly, it was because of the trauma she suffered due to being caught by the police. Therefore, science can explain this scenario, and it cannot be considered a phenomenon. But no matter what happens, we will not know the truth if we do not find it.